Hey guys, it's Katie at scrappinkaty.ctmh.com, and I have a fun treat holder to share with you today.
I wanted to show you a cute little goodie. Now, this one, of course, is Easter themed, but you really can make it at any time. In fact, this was featured on Close to My Heart's blog back in February, I believe, with a little Valentine special. But we recently had a team meeting with my upline and then some of my Close to My Heart sisters, and then even some of my downline attended. And she revisited this and did it on camera and showed us how to make this, and it's super cute. It comes together really quickly, so I wanted to show you guys how to do that. So it uses our Stitched Hexagon Thin Cuts, and it uses the larger one. Now, if you don't have the hexagons, you could probably use a Cricut cut. I believe this one measures right under 4 inches wide and a little over 4 inches tall. So I've gone ahead and I've cut this largest hexagon out of our Daisy Meadows pattern paper. Now you can see this fun egg pattern on one side and then this plaid on the other. Now, because this is Easter, I want to actually see the Easter egg pattern. And so I'm going to be doing some scoring. I'm just going to use my Versamat simply because it has the grids on it, and that's going to be really easy for me to use. And then I'm also going to use my T ruler. Now I will post measurements down below so you can make your own. So you're going to want to make sure your eggs, if you're using a pattern paper or whatever, you're going to want to make sure that it's oriented the right way. And then I am going to turn it over and line it up on the 6-inch mark. Now this lines up really easily because we have a point and a point, and I want to make sure that those points are both lined up on the 6-inch mark. This bottom one, this is the one we're going to score to create the pocket. So I just want to make sure it's on an inch line. It doesn't matter which inch line, but I've got it on 5, and I want to score 1.5 inches from that bottom point. So again, making sure my corners right here are lined up, and then I've got my T ruler, and I'm going to just score at 1.5 inches from that bottom line. And then the next thing I want to do is I want to score 3/4 of an inch on each side. So on this one, I'm just going to make sure that this left edge is lined up with any line that happens to be the 4-inch line. And so I'm going to put my ruler at 4 3/4. And again, I'm just going to score. And these are just light scores, just to kind of create a line so when I go to fold this pattern paper, it'll fold just a little bit easier. And then I'm going to scoot this right edge over to the 8-inch line,
And then move my ruler over to 7 1/4 inches.
so I will score a 3/4 inch line. And that is all the scoring. So we've got that bottom pocket, we've got the side 3/4 of an inch lines, and then just to make this pocket fold just a little bit neater, I'm going to cut these little flaps out that were created by these 2 score lines. So I'm just going to cut on that score line and that score line, and I'm going to do the same thing over here. And again, that's just to kind of lessen the bulk, because once you get to folding this, if you have a whole lot of extra paper, it gets kind of bulky. So see, we've got this cute little pocket, and then now I want to add just some liquid glue. Now I think liquid glue is the best. If you do have a strong adhesive, maybe like a tear tape, maybe glue dots, something like that, you could probably use that. So I'm just going to fold that up, and I'm just going to hold it down for a second. Okay, so I think that's good. You see how that pocket was made really easily. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of the zip strips from the Daisy Meadow. And the reason I'm going to do this is the little bunny that I'm using from the months of the year. This is the April collection. he's just kind of thin. And so I don't like that you can kind of see this right here. So I'm just going to create kind of like a belly band. And let's actually, because I'm going to put him in the middle. I'm just going to fold it and actually crease it along, or by using this little envelope. No need to score it. And then I'm just going to make sure that I have enough to overlap it. And then I also want this seam hidden by the bunny. So I don't want it too far over here. And then for that one, I'm actually going to use liquid adhesive as well. And just kind of remember how much you left to overlap, because you don't want to put any adhesive on the part that won't be overlapped, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to hold that down just for a second. This glue that I use really is quick drying. And there's really no need to tape it anywhere else. Once you get your little treat in here, it's going to be pretty tight. It's not going to move. So again, I want that kind of high. Now you could move it down a little bit more, but remember the reason I'm using it is to kind of hide this openness right here. So I'm going to move that up. And then I'm going to attach some 3D foam tape to my little bunny. Now keep in mind his ears are going to be on, they're going to be hanging over into this opening, and so I don't want any 3D foam tape on his ears. I just want it right there. I'm just going to peel that off, and you could use as many little icons as you'd like. You see here I've got some Easter baskets, I've got Easter eggs, I've got a little chick. You could really do anything you want, and you definitely could use stickers if you don't have any stamps. So isn't he so cute? Now, what I am using are these Ghirardelli, but they're the bunny rabbits. They're really thin, like thin, not wide. So they slide in there, but I wanted to show you some other things that you could use. You definitely could use the regular Ghirardellis. So those fit in there nicely. You could even use Reese's Pieces peanut butter eggs. And you could even use some prepackaged little bitty small treats like jelly beans. I think there's Nerds. Really, you could use anything. You could even do maybe some cash if you've got some older kids. Isn't that just so cute? And again, it's using our Stitched Hexagons, stamps that I had just in my stash. You could definitely use stickers. And again, this isn't purely just for Easter. You just change out your pattern paper and then whatever stamped images or stickers you're using. And this could be definitely a treat for every occasion. So I will leave all the links down below as well as the measurements so you can make your own. If you have any questions, just let me know.